We're live. We're live. Oh, we're live. Come on, dance with me, dude. You're supposed to.
Oh, you don't want to see me dance. It's terrible.
Okay, I won't make you dance.
Welcome to the Chase parking lot in Studio City, Los Angeles, California. This is my car, and I'm very excited to be here on stream with you.
So tell us right now, Mr. Ray, why are you streaming from your car?
Well, I left LA for a little place in the countryside called Pine Mountain, and I live there full time. And I only come out here for in-person sessions. We got this little cabin right before COVID started. It's like a weekend place, and then COVID happened, and we were like, let's stop living in LA and just live in the cabin in the woods. And so we do that now full time, and we come out to Los Angeles probably about once a week for stuff. I just got the mail, just went to the bank, gonna have a session. You just do what you can. So far it's working out, and we'll see when LA opens up again. I'll see if we can move back.
Yeah. So once a week you like come for mail, you take a shower, you see society. They're like the things that you do.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's incredible. But you do have good Wi-Fi in this cabin, right? Because I'm guessing you also do recordings from home.
Yeah, you have to. So yeah, most of the time I'm just recording at home, so there hasn't been a need to be in Los Angeles for now. It's a lot cheaper, and there's been a lot of pluses in that respect. So I can't complain. Life is pretty good. I do miss being able to walk. We lived here in Studio City, and we're just surrounded. Like, it's so freaking walkable. Like, we could just walk outside, and back in the old days, and go have dinner and go shopping, and like everything is here in walking distance. But right now everything's closed. So
yeah, I know. Well, LA is opening a little bit more. I've seen a lot of restaurants have like seating outdoors, and they say June 15th, a very important day. LA is opening fully, so I say that because it's my birthday. So I'm excited. Really? Like, okay, this is the day that everything opens up again. Awesome.
Perfect. But it might be hard to get a reservation if you have a party. That'll be tricky.
I'm not going to have no parties, but you know, it just feels like okay. At least you know things are open. Dude, we have people saying hi from Wales. We have Italy in the house. Hello, Rebeldarius. Annie the Baker's like, hey. I think she follows you guys often on Lava.
I've heard Annie the Baker somewhere before. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. New show idea. It's called Chasing Ray. I like that one. That was Booty Farts 22. At the beginning, they thought it was a green screen that you were in your car, which, you know, could totally be.
Do a virtual, right? I can make it look so much better, but I'm on my phone.
You could. I don't know what'll happen. It might go in and out because of the light behind, but give it a shot, man. Totally fun. And I'll read some of the more fun comments. Ray Senpai. Hello, Ray, says Chato the Bear. Living the dream. His Roy in Fire Emblem is amazing with all capitals.
Roy. Roy's our boy.
Sorry?
There's no virtual background. It has to access my camera roll, and I'm too nervous to do that on.
Yeah, don't do that. We don't know what'll pop up. I love that you have your hand up as if because you raised your hand, and we can leave it there. The little icon thingy. I've definitely not wanted to put my own pictures in the back because you don't know. The Ray Chase tour. A lot of things are happening. Ray in the car, man. Your Lava Baker is here. Oh, Annie the Baker. She does watch all of your shows. So super cool. And I'm saying hi to Brazil. Hello, Brazil. Dude, see? I'm telling you, people from all over. It's very exciting. So the Diva Waifu loves that you're in Final Fantasy.
Yeah. That was a very cool role.
When I read that, I'm like, he's in FFXV. What the fuck is that? I am so terrible at these things. Tell me about that because you play a pretty awesome character.
I play Prince Noctis in Final Fantasy 15. That was my first big role. It's weird to say came out in 2016, so about 4 or 5 years ago, because it came out right at the very end. And then that means I was working on it 7 years ago, which is crazy. It still feels like not much time has passed, but time keeps flying forward. It was it was the role of a lifetime. You get to play a main character in such a high quality game, and the people who we worked on it. I don't know if you worked with Keith Farley, but he's just an absolutely incredible director. Just really, he comes from theater, so he really knows what kind of information an actor needs and how to get the right performance, how to talk to an actor. Just an awesome dude. So I'm just eternally grateful for that role. It was incredible.
So this was 2016, but you had been pursuing voice acting or working how many years before that? You're a really young dude. I've stalked your IMDb, and you have 95 video game credits, not total credits, video game credits.
Yeah, that sounds
about right. One would think you're 55. You're not. So tell me about where this came in terms of your career and how you were feeling about you were working constantly. Were you waiting tables and then this happened? Where are we at this point in Ray's?
For Final Fantasy. So at that point, so what I did was I went to school. I did acting, all that sort of stuff, and then I became a mixologist. I really got into the freaking mixology scene in Los Angeles. I was a bar back for some of the greatest bartenders in the world, and they taught me so much. And I read books and learned the history and really did craft cocktails, and I really loved it. It was fun. It was great making things really slowly. You make less money that way instead of just pouring stuff in a club, but you're just able to have amazing conversations with people and make something really wonderful. I fell in love with it, and then I was like, hold on a second, don't fall too much in love. This is supposed to be your day job. And so
night job, though, really. Were you mixologying during the day?
Both. Yeah, okay. I did break and stuff like that. And I saved up enough money for 2 months of living without a job. And so I quit bartending and I said, I'm going to try to be a voice actor in 2 months, see what I can do. And yeah, it was pretty ballsy. And what ended up happening was it made me really work hard. And so I just did every opportunity. I did all the workshops. I did so much stuff. Right at the end of the 2 months, I did a casting workshop with a place called Voicecaster, which doesn't do these workshops anymore, which sucks. But it was like $10 for a workout group. You show up, and they give notes on auditions that you do. And it was super helpful. And on the third time that I went, they were like, do you have a demo? And I said, yeah, I made one myself. And they sent it to I don't remember who did that one. It wasn't Deutsch or somebody, but whoever was working on Coke Zero at the time. And they auditioned me to be the voice of Coke Zero. And I ended up booking it, and that let me have enough of a financial runway to keep going. And I did, I ended up doing audiobooks for about 3 years, and in the hopes that it would get me more voice acting jobs. It did not do that, but it did.
Did you enjoy it?
No.
It's hard. Yeah, it's. I don't either. But okay. I wanted to know if you found joy in this.
So, I mean, out of all, I did like about 200 books, and out of all them, there were like 10 to 15 that I really enjoyed. But most of them, you're just like, I read a textbook on Fibonacci, and so I'm just reading math problems, and it's like, what am I doing with my life? Or these really antiquated, just like awful 70s sci-fi. It was just like, it was a bad time. So I met Max at a workshop, and he was like, dude, you should like do video games and stuff. And I was like, I want to. How do you do it? And he's like, I don't know. So let's take some workshops. So we like became friends, and we helped each other out to get work and recommended each other. And that was like what got me that kind of energy. Having a friend who was helping you along just really helped us like bounce ideas back and forth, keep each other motivated. And then we very slowly started doing more anime, video games, animation stuff. And that's basically my story.
So you guys have been like buddies as you took off.
Yeah, we met at a agency party where we were both super wallflowery because we didn't know anybody. It was not fun. And he was going to USC. I had just left USC, and I was an RA, and I knew a lot about it. And so he was asking advice on classes.
Wait, this was college times?
This was Max college times. I think I'm 3 years older than him, so he was like in his junior year. Or no, he went to college for 5 years, I think, because he switched majors.
Got it. Okay.
So we met there, and then we met again at a casting workshop, and like, you know, you see who's talented, and you're like, oh, I want to know that guy. Who's this dude?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
We met before. So we already had that like spark of friendship, and it came from there. And it was from a casting workshop where it was Chris Borders, who did Mass Effect, was doing this workshop. We were all soldiers, and doing like random soldier lines. And at the end of the workshop, Chris said, I would cast Max out of all of you guys. Thank you, goodbye. And I was like, what, Max? What? He's not better than me at this. And I looked at Max's sheet, because we had all these generic soldier lines, and his sheet was filled with self-direction. He did lines before, lines after, level of intensity, make it varied, make it interesting. Like, he made choices on all these generic lines, and I was like, I'm going to do that for my auditions. And that night, I auditioned for Project Black, which was Final Fantasy 15. So that Max inspired me to get my start as Noctis. It was crazy.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is like a clear, like, I observed something, I took a note, and it freaking worked.
Exactly. And that night, Max was tired, and he did not do those auditions, and he missed out. It's a crazy story.
And the rest is history. Wow. But that was Noctis was meant for you. You know what I mean? Like, it's you can't take that away from Ray. It was meant for you, and that little learning process that you had with him that day was like, boom. Holy cow, that's incredible. Okay. And Max is really fun to watch. I think all voice actors are fun to watch in the booth because they're doing very different things to what we would do. So I think that, like, if they're good, we're always paying close attention and taking notes and learning, you know, and that's what's so fun. So when you booked this, did you know it was going to be huge? Because sometimes we don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I absolutely knew it was going to be a huge thing. I had a callback, and I was super, super nervous, and I did apparently very badly at the callback, but I still did okay enough to book the role. And I was like, oh man, this is crazy. Worked on the demo for about 5 or 6 sessions, and then the demo came out, and I was like, oh man, I want to be able to announce this. They don't have the cast. Can I announce? And Keith said they're thinking of recasting. Hold off on that for a second. I was like, recasting? No, this is terrible. The voice that we used was too close to another guy in it, and so they were like, let's find somebody else. And Keith stood up for me and said, Ray can do different voices. Can you give him a shot? And I was able to audition over the course of a month, re-audition for the part.
Jesus.
It was wild, very, very scary, very tumultuous time. That was very, very hard. But I thank Keith for standing up. I mean, I don't know if you've been recast and stuff, but it's just something that happens, and you're usually not even told.
You're not.
Just comes out and you go, what? Oh, yeah. I guess I wasn't good enough or something.
You just told we went in a different direction, and they don't even give you a chance to But then re-auditioning and not booking it sucks too, because then you failed at the re-audition. So sometimes it's like, well, maybe it's better not to know, you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think that was, what question did you ask in the first place? I don't remember.
Well, I wanted to know about Final Fantasy because, he is the main character.
It's going to be really good. Yeah, and so then when I finally rebooked it again, I was like, okay, I'm going to be working on this for the next 2 years. It's going to be a big deal. And then I remember sitting down with Matt Mercer for...
Nobody knows Matt Mercer. He's terrible.
And I was asking him some advice, and I was like, so this game comes out, what should I do? And he was like, well, you should start doing conventions. That's part of the whole thing. And I had no idea what a convention was. I didn't understand it. And he was like, yeah, don't worry about it. They'll come to you. And it was true. I started getting invites from places. And obviously, Robbie and Max and I were teamed up by this point. We were like, oh, yeah, let's do conventions. And it was super scary at first. I remember my first one, I was really nervous. I'm like, what is this? I'm going to answer questions. I don't have any cool answers. And then I just got used to it as I did more and more, especially having a team, being able to go with Max and Robbie and Julia. It was awesome.
Oh my gosh. So you had met Robbie at this point already?
So, he and I played best friends in Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And I found out that he was working on this, and we met during production, but we never recorded together the whole 2 years. So I kind of sent him out, and we realized, remember there was this one night we went to his house to watch a UFC thing, and Max and I were, again, wallflowers, being like, what is this? I don't care. But eventually we met Robbie in the kitchen, and we were like, what are you working on? What are you working on? And we realized we had 40 credits that all overlapped by that point. We were like, oh shit, we're in everything together, and we like each other. Let's hang out and do stuff. And so that's how we kind of became a trio.
Wait, but the story is, though, that the first comment that Robbie had towards Max at a recording was kind of dickish, and so Max was like, I'm not going to be friends with that dude. And I think Robbie was just being sarcastic and funny, but Max did not appreciate it.
Exactly. I'm sure he'd say I told the breadwinner story. So he and Robbie and I were friends at this point, and then me and Max were friends, and then I brought them all together, and we all understood each other. Yeah, that's how.
And I love that now you're best buds, and you guys travel to conventions, and you put on an amazing show at cons that is just such a delight to watch, and how cool that it's not just I sign autographs and then I party and go to sleep. You guys are you're also creating and having a really good time.
Yeah, conventions can be super soulless if you come at it from our perspective, where we're not hanging out with friends all the time, and we're just walking behind convention centers, not through them, but through the bowels where there's just plumbing and chairs stacked up everywhere, and it's it's such a industrial feel from our perspective, and anything that we can do to make it more fun, we really go for it. We also have a rule, like whenever we go to a convention, we have to make one night where we go out and go somewhere, so that we're not just in hotels and in convention centers all day.
And I partook in that once. That's how I got to know you guys. We went to a nice Italian place, and it was like a table for 12.
Yeah.
Katsukan.
Who was who came? Courtney Taylor and her husband came. That was a huge table. That was really fun. So that was in, Washington. Wow.
Yeah, and it was cold, but like crisp. It was February, but it was nice. It was fun, and I hadn't.
You did the escape room with us too, right?
I didn't. That night I let the boys go do that, and I hung out with my friend Chloe, who's the voice of Widowmaker, because we hadn't hung out. We hadn't caught up. She lived in France at the time still. So I was like, I need to just spend some time with her, and then I knew the next night we were going out to dinner, so I didn't do the escape room, but you guys had a good time. Okay, so the other, like, you also work on a bunch of other projects, like, Fire Emblem, and then Bruno and JJ's Big Adventure, Juju's, Jing's, JJ, Jablo.
There is a Jujutsu Kaisen.
There is.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is
JoJo's.
Very fantastic show, yeah.
Yeah, tell me about that, because it's a really popular show.
Yeah, I love that show. I remember I worked on season 1. I mean, what's weird, so JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is unlike any other anime. It's its own thing, and it always takes place in very exotic locations for an anime, so it's very unusual. Has a very particular art style, very big emphasis on music references and just weirdness. There's lots of very weird superpowers going on. Like my character can unzip anything. That's his power. The power to unzip stuff. Yes, it is very weird.
Sounds dirty.
They never really do it. If he ever unzips himself, there's just like black holes inside him, so you never see him naked.
That's hilarious. But he can unzip other things, and that's where you go, we're just gonna...
Yeah, he can like zip his way through a wall, so he can walk through it. It comes in handy.
Okay. Not like regular zippers that are on people. It can be zippers into like a stratosphere.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So it's a very silly show, and I played a bunch of characters in season 1. I had no idea what it was, didn't think about it, and then the show got more popular, and I was like, oh, what is this? What did I do? And then I watched it, and I was like, this is really good, and I watched all the seasons up to that point, and really enjoyed it. And when I'm in season 5, it's a whole new cast of characters every season, and when the auditions came out, I spent a long time on it, because I really wanted my guy I ended up getting, who's Bruno. He's a very, very cool character.
What does he sound like?
Bruno Bucciarati, arrivederci. He's like a deep kind of voice, like kind of this guy.
But is he British and then says stuff in Italian?
He's not British. No. Oh. He's just, he's Italian, but they did not want to do accents on the show, which was a good idea. Having everybody do sound like Mario would be a very bad idea.
Absolutely. Oh, that's so great. Do you feel like a lot of your characters are in a specific range, or it's kind of like all over?
It's really all over. I mean, Roy's our boy. He's way up here. And then I'm Sire Denathrius in World of Warcraft, and he's down here. And then I play Etrigan the Demon in Warner Brothers, what's it, DC something. But they're all way down there, and then Noctis is right here. So I play a lot of like pretty anime boys who speak like this. So all over the place. I really do try to make each character sound very different from each other. There's only one character that uses my normal voice, and that's Masters from Kingdom Hearts. I just speak normally, and that's the only one that's true. The only one that's Ray coming out. Exactly, yeah. Oh, dude, that's amazing. That was kind of really fun to just watch you go through that. Tibonetto goes, "It's me, Jojo." It's me, Jojo. And everyone's like, "Oh my God, Ray's range is amazing." Please, I am weak. The pretty boys. Yeah, man, I love the pretty boys in anime. That's so funny. Chad, I'm not ignoring you. I just don't see you. I'm on Zoom. So if you're
no. Yes, he's in the car, so he's not. That's why I'm reading them out to you. But there's a lot of fun comments. Oh, hello, Michelle Noir Studios. Ray Chase for Mario. That would be so funny.
That would be a dream come true.
So when did you discover you were good at voices? What was it that made you? Are you from LA, and did you move here with the intention of that, or before the mixology happened?
I'm from New Jersey. I grew up in Las Vegas, and my father did a lot of voices, and he would make up silly stories to help us go to bed when we were kids. And he came up with all these crazy characters, and just always was funny, and always changing his voice up. And so I was always mimicking him, and that's what got me into, just the hobby of mimicking stuff and playing around with your voice, and being aware of that instrument in that respect. And so I remember I made a demo tape on a cassette player when I was like probably 14 or so, and I was
the viewers here don't know what cassettes are, so we'll have to explain that later. But wow.
Yeah, I kind of made that. I wish I had that. That'd be so cool to listen to. It's got to be somewhere. And you know what? I might know where it is. Huh, interesting. Okay.
That would be so much fun if you find it, dude.
They didn't find a way to play it, too.
Yeah.
So and then I didn't know it was a job until college, and I was like, oh, I can maybe do this after school. And my first job doing voice acting, I was like a little tearaway bulletin board thing. Called this number. It was this woman, Nicole, who was doing a documentary on biomatter or something, and I remember recording. It was just narration. I was like, "This is cool. I'm gonna work on this." And so I started doing voice 1, 2, 3 and all the beginner stuff. And I did.
Wait, but you were still in high school when you were doing this?
I was in college. This was college.
And what were you studying?
Theater and film.
Okay. So you were on that track.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And did you pursue theater after you graduated, or you went straight into voice acting?
Yeah, oh my God, my face was covered with the worst acne imaginable, and so I gave it the old college try, but I was hideous to look at, just hideous. So it was not in the cards for me.
Oh, Ray, I think you can be on TV. What are you talking about, man?
Well, you might see something in the near future, perhaps this year. It's
really?
pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I can't wait to talk about it. It's been a tough secret to keep, but
shut the front door.
I might have filmed something during COVID. It was one of the few COVID productions. Got tested every day, all that sort of stuff. It was very, very cool.
Okay, my brain is going at what I know was shooting during COVID, and I hope it's something real epic. Oh my God, congratulations. That's a really big deal.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
wow, so have you been pursuing on-camera stuff? Or this just kind of happened?
Not at all. This just happened out of nowhere. I mean, I'll talk about it once it comes out more.
Yeah.
It started as a voiceover audition and ended up being on camera.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Dreams do come true. It's pretty fun.
Oh, wow. That's exciting. Yeah, because, I think that you guys do have a good stage presence as the three of you. A lot of voice actors don't know how to walk and talk without being awkward. You guys have that freedom and you're in your bodies. And so, I think that you translate well to any form of theater or screen. But not all voice actors know how to move.
Yeah, it's true. Especially a lot of the newer generation of voice actors have no interest in on-camera stuff. It's just for the voice, which I think is really interesting. And I do welcome that. We came from the people who we grew up watching. It was kind of like an afterthought sort of thing. And I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle where I was like super passionate, but didn't know it was a career path until I was in college. And then the newer guys who were just like, that's all I want to do. So the more passion there is in this industry, I think the better. Well,
I think that before, I can't speak for everybody, but for myself, I didn't realize people were just voice actors. I thought we all were actors, and one of the branches was commercial radios and animation, but I never thought that people would only focus on that. And the fact that now it's a thing, it's like, oh, cool. Even if you are super camera shy, you can get behind a mic and do a great job.
Exactly, yeah.
I remember auditioning for my first video game was Max Payne 3, and it was to do motion capture for Rockstar Games. And the audition was a scene, but besides that, they had you walking across their big stage once and then twice.
A walk cycle, yeah.
Just walking. And I was like, what's this all about? And they were like, we just want to see how you walk and how you move. Because some people get all weird and walk like robots, and they can't use that. They just need you to look human, you know? And it's just funny that when people get nervous or whatever, they can't walk normally, you know?
God, I remember, they're still on YouTube. I did some motion capture reels, and I'm embarrassed about them. I have no idea what they look like now. And I'm like, shit, those are pretty old. I should get those off. That's not great.
Dude, all of our first reels. That's why I'm curious for you to find your cassette tape to see how good or bad it was, you know?
Oh, 100%. Oh my God. And one of the reels I did in college, which I thought was super clever, was I wrote a story. And so all of the accents and characters I did for 2 minutes told a story. It was like a detective story and stuff. Very creative, but looking back, it's pretty cringe.
Yeah, I think we all cringe when we look back on that stuff. One of the comments, though, is even if you never get a role, feeling the cringe of recording yourself acting is so important. I think that we do become more aware of how, and I think that the fact that this generation's grown up, we look at, not only do I look at you, but I have the chance to look at myself. So if my hair is looking weird or if I'm making a weird face, I'm very aware of it. But before that, we didn't have these mirrors up to our faces constantly to see how crazy we are with our facial expressions, or how whatever I do, you know, we bite our inner cheek.
Yourself like every 3 months when like you got your photos developed, and you'd be like, oh, that's what I look like. But yeah, you never really saw yourself that much other than in a mirror.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so crazy. We are very hyper aware now, as Booty Fart says. His name is Booty Fart 22.
As the great Booty Fart says, that's great.
The great Booty Fart 22 has a philosophy book. So I wanted to ask you about, Jujutsu Kaisen. You did in your text, you said Jujutsu Jaden. I think it went into autocorrect. So I was like, I don't think that's correct. Talk to me about Sukuna.
This is a fun character because it's a great show. It's really well animated. It's well paced. The fights are good. And I play this 4,000, 9,000-year-old demon who has separated his body into 20 fingers. And if you eat one of his fingers, he resides in you. And once you eat all 20, he will burst out and take over the world. It's a wild thing. So I'm a demon who lives inside this kid's body, and he doesn't sound anime. It's not an anime voice. It's very, it's like this kind of, I don't remember a goddamn line that he says. But, this kind of voice doesn't appear in anime that often. And I love just being
kind of sexy and creepy.
Weird. Yeah, it's sexy and creepy is exactly what I was going for. Yeah.
It's like David Bowie in The Labyrinth. He's sexy and creepy.
Yes, exactly. I love your David Bowie mug too. Shout out to DB.
Which is funny because I wasn't thinking about that, but he is sexy and creepy.
So I really enjoy doing that part. He's fun, but he doesn't come up all that often. He'll come up for like 3 episodes, then go away for like 5. I haven't recorded that guy in a while, but I'm excited to see where he goes next.
Do you ever lose your voice when you're going that low or that raspy or whatever?
No, losing my voice is that's like if I do super high screamy stuff for a while, then I can't go back up. But I can always go back down. That's like where my natural voice is, and so I can always stay in the basement for a long while.
Stay in the basement. I like that. That's great. Yeah. I never heard that. Is that a thing people say? I stay in the basement?
Basement, yeah. Your basement voice? Yeah, for sure.
Oh, sweet.
I guess it probably doesn't come up for girls that much.
Right. I do have a deep voice for a chick, but I've never, I don't have a basement. I'm in the closet constantly recording, but I'm not in a basement.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah. Wait, there's a comment here. It's Kalu says, Bowie in Labyrinth was my first crush as a kid, laughing my ass off. Shout out to the late, great David Bowie. He was, that David Bowie in that movie was definitely like, I watched it when I was really young, and it kind of weirded me out because it was sexy, but it was also strange. And I was like, I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm very confused. There's something really hot about him, but I don't know how I feel about it because it's not like the stereotypical like man who, you know, you think you're supposed to fall for. And then I'm like, he's kind of feminine, but he's kind of hot and weird.
Expanding horizons. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So talk to me about your recording studio at home. Do you have you set something up that's like a decent size, or are you like real tight like me and Max are in our tiny spaces?
Thankfully, since Max is not that tight, he's got a big old closet. I've been in that closet. I helped him set it up.
Well, he told me, it's 5x6, and I go, dude, mine's 2x2. He goes, okay, mine's 5x6, but I stand in a tiny, he kept trying to fight me, telling me his was smaller, and I was like, it can't be smaller than mine. I barely fit in mine. Okay, see, he was trying to be all like, whatever, but he's got space.
Max's is very comfortable.
Okay.
My booth in the cabin is 3 times the size as what it was in Studio City. I'm literally pointing to my house as if anybody cares. My Studio City house was not a walk-in closet. It was a closet. I could just fit my shoulders in, and that was as far. I could not move around in it. Very, very hot, very painful. And the beginning of COVID, when I still lived in Studio City, half the time I was like, this is absolutely miserable. And one of the impetuses for living in the mountains full time. The mountain house is it's a walk-in closet with a window, and it's a grand. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Oh my God. And you built it yourself, like you set everything up?
Yeah, I mean, I glued a whole bunch of that foam on the walls, you know, as the best you can do, and it was absolutely fantastic. I love that place. I did, I worked in there today, and then I'll be in the studio in a few minutes after this one.
I was going to ask, can you tell us what you're recording, or is that secret?
No, can't talk about it, but I'm excited.
Awesome.
It's a very cool one.
I recorded yesterday for Cartoon Network, and I go in often for Victor and Valentino, and they just bring me in for, you know, incidentals, but every once in a while there's like a fun little, like a guest star, quote unquote, because she has a few more lines. And yesterday's I didn't know what to expect, and it was the zaniest character, and I had to like kind of like sing weird songs to myself, but also blurt stuff out. But I decided to do a high-pitched character, so at the end I was a little like, hurts a little, and I was like, I broke a sweat because she was so weird, and like I kind of twitched to get into it. But I hadn't prepared for that. I didn't know what the character was.
They just throw stuff at you,
But it's kind of fun because I think if I had thought about it too much, I don't know. There was something nice, but it was just off the cuff, and like I had to go with my gut, and it was really fun, you know. And I feel like sometimes
I like capturing that energy for animation, where they just throw stuff at you kind of energy. It really comes out great.
Yeah. So we have a few questions. Oh my God, he voiced Bruno Bucciarati from JoJo. We know that, but somebody did mention Alphonse.
Alphonse, I love that dude. He's great.
Who's Alphonse?
Who's Alphonse? Why, he's the main character of a game called Fire Emblem Heroes.
Oh, okay. Which ties into another question: how you got that audition and that whole story. So feel free to
that one. That's an easy story that I feel like everybody's heard before, but probably not your fans.
And not me. So indulge me.
I was a big fan of Super Smash Brothers when I was a kid. I played a lot of the original and Melee, and one of my favorite characters was this dude named Roy, who's a Fire Emblem from a series called Fire Emblem, which at the time was not localized in America. He spoke Japanese only. He was just this weird mystery character that as a kid you're like, who the F is this red-haired kid? He's really cool and his sword's on fire, and I loved him. And then I flash forward to being a voice actor, got this audition for a new game, and I thought someone was coming up. A new game.
And I'm not loitering, I promise.
I auditioned for this character, Alphonse, who's the main character in the game, and he sounds like this: Fire Emblem Heroes. He's like kind of nerdy, but super young, and he I show up for this session, and there's not a whole lot of lines in this game. It's a mobile game, and I threw down his voice, and then they said, we'd also like you to voice match another character named Gaius from another game. So I just did that off the cuff, and they were like, while you're here and we still have time, we'd like you to try a character named Roy. And I was like, Roy from Smash Brothers? That Roy? They're like, yeah, never voiced before in English. Gave it a shot, and I couldn't believe that they ended up using me for that. That was just the weirdest, wildest luck, crazy sort of thing. Auditioning for another character and then having them throw you something that you've known about your whole life. That means so much to me. As Roy, I've probably said only, I don't know, 100 lines over the course of the last 4 years, but he means so much to me, just to be somebody who I loved as a kid.
That's so beautiful, man. I feel like I always ask, like, what was that one role that you were already a huge fan of that franchise or whatever, and then you got on it and you're like, pinch me, is this real, you know?
Yeah.
Would you say that was it? Do you have others?
I mean, sure, Mario would be Luigi. That would be really fun. But it's so weird because you always associate it with a voice. With Roy, it was different because he was never voiced. So I at least got to come up with something that was my own. It's weird doing recurring. Have you ever voiced somebody who already existed before?
No, I haven't replaced anything like that. Or no. I've done voice matching for some Latina ladies for commercial stuff, but never something like this. You know, I did. I auditioned for a character in a Bugs Bunny bit. She's like an eagle. It's the Bugs Bunny episode where Elmer Fudd's looking for a rabbit or an eagle to go cook his meal, and then that is the mama eagle, and she's all angry to the babies. And she speaks kind of like Borat, but sometimes it felt Russian and sometimes it felt Italian. And I swear I nailed it, man. And I didn't.
But you never got it? Damn.
Yeah, and I auditioned to voice match Sarah Silverman in as Vanellope in that what's it called? Ralph Breaks the Internet, just for some replacement lines that I guess she couldn't do. And dude, I swear to fucking God, I nailed it. Like the sound engineer was like, dude, you got it. But I didn't book it. And so I go, shit, man, there's competition out there.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's freaking tough.
Yeah.
Wait, so SD Teen Wolf, you are a huge fan of Aaron Fitzbadass, right? Because I think I'm remembering screen names from that chat. But fun fact, I was part of the lore on this. Ray Chase named Spring Alphonse's bunnies Balphonse, Ralphonse, Laufphonse, and Clyde. That is hilarious.
Shout out to Pac-Man, yeah, for sure. He has 4 bunnies, and one of those offhand tweets that suddenly becomes canon. So there you go.
Yes, I love it. Jenny, you're right. I'm sorry, Jenny Yakamori. My bad. I'm confusing my peeps. The other thing that I saw here that I wanted to. So apparently every time somebody subs to your to Lava, you scream.
Yes, it's the Roy, specifically the Roy KO where he gets thrown off the map, and it's a very loud, horrible yell.
Can you do it?
Yeah, I mean, Zoom will probably cut it out, but...
Okay.
Something like that.
Dude, there was a crazy echo that just happened. That was kind of rad. It did not get cut out. That was amazing. So I shout out all the subs at the end because, like, you're telling a super awesome story of how you connected to a character, and then I get a sub, and I'll be like, thanks, right, like, that's shitty. I don't want to interrupt people when they're, like, in the middle of a story. So at the end, I do it, and then I have you guys help me shout them out in fun voices. So I think that's, like, a better happy medium rather than, like... oh my God, that was incredible though. That scream is pretty awesome. Yeah. So I'm sure you miss doing Lava in person, huh? Well, in cons and everything in person.
Yeah. I think I've seen Robbie and Max like twice over the past year. It's absolutely the whole Zoom thing is not fun.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of screens for sure,
and especially not being able to travel all the time too. I would have loved to see all the crazy places we would have gone. Yeah.
Jeff Burns, hey, what's up, man? He goes, digging the apocalypse look, Ray. See,
I am growing my hair to look more like Jeff Burns. Yeah.
I shared
oh my God,
this,
yeah, that's me.
And then you come on and I'm like, we're still in a pandemic. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Exactly.
bromance hike. What? The bromance hike? I don't know what that's about.
We did a hike for Robbie's birthday.
I think I saw a picture.
Maybe? Yes, yeah, exactly.
Super.
Yeah.
So who the hell is Nier in Nier Replicant? Or Nier?
Nier is the main character in an upcoming game that was released 10 years ago, but now being remade with the original lead character. It's very confusing. And I play Nier, who is very similar to Noctis in voice. It's another kind of guy like this, soft-spoken. And that was another wild thing. I was in the game Nier Automata, which came out a few years before. I played the bad guy named Eve, and then the auditions came out for Nier Replicant, and I was not asked to audition because I was in the previous game. But they went through everybody, and they couldn't find what they were looking for, and John Ricciardi, who was the lead on that, the main, on the other side of the glass, he remembered me and was like, maybe we bring Ray in, let's see. And he brought me into audition. They really liked me. But then that day, this was like also another one of those month-long casting processes where they were auditioning me, doing a lot of retakes. One of them was at the Nier soundtrack, what's it called? The orchestral concert, which was in Los Angeles at the Microsoft Center. And I had gotten tickets, super excited, gonna go see it with my friend. But I was also auditioning for this project at the same frickin' time. And I got there. I had given my tickets to a fan who wanted it in a sweepstakes, did that, ran back home because Yoko Taro, the creator, was asking for more auditions, went back home, did some re-records, went back, and sat right behind the leads of the previous game, Kyle and Kira, and was like, what the hell, am I going to be a part of this franchise again? Am I going to be, and all the screen is just playing like images of Nier and stuff, and I'm like, am I going to be a part of this? This is crazy. I don't know what to do. Super fraught night. Then I met the creator backstage afterwards. We didn't talk about it. I just kept it. I was just like, better to just be, slightly awkward and then go home and think about this for the rest of my life. And then I found out like 2 weeks later that they ended up casting me. Just a crazy night. That was very scary.
Yeah, God, it's just, I also wish we could hear sooner so that we just stop thinking about it. Because sometimes we go, you wait for 2 weeks, then you go, you know what, I didn't book it. And then 2 months later, they're like, hey, you booked this thing. And you're like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy. If only we got no's. It would feel bad in the moment, but it would be good to not think about them anymore. Well,
yeah, because then you kind of stop holding on to it, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
What's a fun character that you'd like to talk about that we haven't already talked about, that you just love voicing, that is so different to, I mean, you obviously have a huge range. Is there like a kid, I don't know, is there
there is a guy, Rudy the rat from Robot Butterfly Unicorn Kitty, and he's this guy, and he's very fun. I don't do much animation. It was fun to play a stupid rat who's trying to be the Easter Bunny. He's has a disguise on the whole time. He was very funny. Rudy the rat. I really like doing that kind of voice, but it doesn't come up very often, so I did it.
Wait, what do you mean you don't do animation? How come?
It's not up to me. I audition just as much as you do. It's it's wherever the fates go.
I've only done a couple
of cartoons. Yeah, I hope so. I've done some DreamWorks guest stars on Voltron and Trolls and stuff, but it's once or twice a year that I get to work on a cartoon. It's pretty rare.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's hope for more because that was super rad. Who's Yoko Taro?
Yoko Taro is the creator of the Nier franchise. He's a wildly strange, eccentric dude who wears a mask in public. He's very fun. And funny, we do wear masks in public now. He wears an actual mask that looks like a big giant moon face from the game. Not always, but only during press conferences.
Because he doesn't like putting his face out in public, or it's just a funny thing he does?
Both. A little of both, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I understand people want to be private and maybe not be out in public or as much. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Ray is talented on the voices, says SD Teen Wolf. So I hope you take that home tonight. What is a project that you would love to be on? I get that question. It used to annoy me, but now I'm like, my end goal is to be on the next Disney movie that's based in Colombia. Music written by Lin-Manuel Miranda. I'm Colombian. I feel like I have to audition. So that's like, what's one of these franchises that you're like, oh, if I could just do that thing, that would be
what's funny is
so
I used to say Naughty Dog for this answer, but I ended up working with them on The Last of Us, Part 2. So I'm like, well, that was my dream, and I'm done. I'm done dreaming. That's it. I'm done, baby.
Yeah. There was one that I realized you were on that I was like, holy shit, that's kind of rad. Poketo Monsuta. You do a shit ton of episodes for that. What's that duder?
How did you know? Wait, for Pokemon?
IMDb Pro.
Poketo Monster is Pokemon. I play the professor from that one. There's like 140 episodes of that show, and we're slowly going through it one episode at a time. I did 4 episodes on that yesterday. He's a cool character. I like it.
And how do you get anime stuff? I've never auditioned for anime, and I'm like, how do people do this?
That started with Max, with like seeking out anime houses and submitting demos, and this was the one good thing that came out of Facebook before I deleted it, was I had a picture that I took with my buddy Logan. There was a girl who we did a TV show at USC with named Mio, who came over from Japan, and that year we worked with her. She didn't speak much English at all, but we hired her on this show, and she was a production designer, and we worked together, but we would be as friendly as the language barrier allowed, and she ended up being one of the head producers over at Bang Zoom, and she saw that picture of me and Logan. And this came from Dave frickin' Fenoy, who I was taking lessons from back in the day. He looked at my Facebook and he said, "Your Facebook should say Ray Chase voice actor." And I was like, I don't care.
Does he talk just like that?
Dave Fenoy, yes. Yeah, just like this.
I love it.
The following program is brought to you by...
That's amazing.
He changed I gave him access, and he changed my thing to say Ray Chase voice actor, and that's when Mio brought me in for Bang Zoom auditions. They were doing general auditions back then. Yeah. She brought me in. I waited 3 hours to do my audition that day. They were super behind and really apologetic, but I waited. I didn't complain, and I ended up working for them over the course of quite a few years before I got started getting some bigger roles. But sometimes Facebook. Sometimes, I think Studiopolis, I just kept submitting my demos over and over again. Cup of Tea, I have no idea how I got started with them. Probably just from submitting demos. But yeah, it's and once you work for one, usually a director will work at another place and then bring you in. But there's still so many studios that I've just never worked at, never made any headway in for whatever reason.
Yeah, sometimes they just have their people, or there are so many submissions that you don't know if you're getting lost in them, you know. A few questions that came up had said The Walking Anime. Is that The Walking Dead in anime, or is...
They said The Walking Anime?
Yeah, they said, what's up with The Walking Anime? Is that was confusing to me, but I wasn't sure if I was... Guys, please clarify.
I was in the Walking Dead video game. I played this character named Marlon, who was one of the coolest experiences ever. Just a really cool, very dramatic, use all your acting chops kind of roles. I really enjoyed doing that guy. That's probably what they might be what they're talking about. I'm not sure.
The Walking Anime with Yusuke? The Power Walking Anime.
Oh, the Power Walking Anime.
Hey, go change. Sorry. Okay.
Lava, off the cuff, we were going to make an anime about power walking.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. See, I knew there was something in there. So wait, but The Walking Dead you did work on, and that was fun?
That was really fun, yeah. Dave Fenoy was the lead of the previous season, so it's coming back all full circle.
So you have lots of connections to him.
Yeah.
Do you do impressions, and which are your favorite?
I don't do I feel like I should.
I mean, you just did him, so like, are there characters that you go, oh, every time I talk to Fred Tatasciore, he's like, oh, you know, like, I don't know.
Man, I don't do too many impressions.
Or like, if you had to make fun of Max, could you be like, well, you know, Max always does this.
Max Middleman. Hey, here I am. I'm Max, and I'm in Miraculous Ladybug. That's me.
One Punch Man.
One Punch Man. That's me.
And Robbie.
Robbie! Wow!
Oh, I love it. Okay.
It's a good thing that we can't do impressions of each other. That keeps us in our own little separate ballparks. It helps.
But, you know, I think that these are better when, you know, like our friend Jen Cohn from Overwatch, you know, sometimes she talks with the hands and she's always, you know, fluffing her hair. And it's not great, but like I kind of understood. Or you know, Lucy Pohl, you know, she's from New York, but she's kind of, you know, she's a little like, and so
nice.
They're not good, but you can go, oh, I see the energy.
I see where it comes from. Yeah. That's very cool.
But I do remember seeing you guys all be Christopher Walkens in a skit
I do not partake in the walk-in. I can't do it. Or no, I usually come in at the end and do my own Christopher Walken, which I don't know how to do. So it just sounds like this. I don't know how he sounds.
Oh my God, Jeff Burns goes, I think you do Max better than he does himself.
That's great.
I love it. It is funny though too, because you know it's just one Robbie scream and that's all you need. You know.
That's his thing. That's his claim to fame.
It's too funny. Have you gotten to meet his second child?
Yes. When we did the hike, I got to meet Mr. Rohan. He is active. That is an active child. It looks like he's trying to escape his body. He's like just always like trying to like muscle his way out and doing something. I fear that child. He's going to kill us.
Oh my God, he's less than a year old, right? Or
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's super young.
You guys didn't hike with Linux?
No. We did a hike, ill-advised hike. We did 6 miles in 6 hours because the snow was so high.
With a baby on Robbie's back?
No. Just 4 dudes walking up a mountain. And it was treacherous, very scary. We had no idea where the trail was. I fell in a hole. It was like... It was ill-advised. We knew to stop when like these mountain dudes came down halfway through the day and were like, yeah, we're giving up. And we were like, okay, we should give up too. And that's when we came back.
Oh my God, was it like Mount Baldy or something?
No, it was Mount San Jacinto out in Palm Springs. We went out there and it was not fun. That was a horrible hike, but we did it. We did at least
sorry.
something. Yeah. Okay,
so they're already clipping Ray's impressions on Max, and we have little videos of that. And I think SD Teen Wolf already cut your scream out when we were talking about subs. We can't do anything on the internet because then it exists forever.
Exactly, yeah.
Ray, is there anything you'd like to shout out or let us know your socials so people can follow you?
Oh, I do have something to say. Yeah. I have a signing tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Jujutsu Kaisen. It's a JoJo Juju signing. Sign up for prints at streamly.com/Ray Chase.
Yeah, Streamly.com is rad. You can get autographs for so many people there. It's like the new awesome online con, and you can slash anybody's name and pretty much find it. So definitely check that out. I've had a great time with them, so I hope
I think I did 3. This is my 3rd signing, maybe 4th. I'm not sure. But yeah, they've been rad. Yeah.
Super cool. And Maisie Grove, who is, guys, I have forgotten to shout out Danny Brito on these streams. She takes care of everything in my life, like Twitch. And, you know, this awesome...
She's on this call.
She's on this call.
There she is.
Yeah. This post was made. Danny does it all. And she just put your streamily.com in the chat so people can hit that link and your socials. So thank you so much, Danny, for all of this. Before we leave, I'd love to shout out the subscriptions. And I've started doing this thing, Ray, where I'll say, you know, whomever subscribed for 2 months, and I would love you to thank them in whatever fun voice you'd like. It can be a new one or it can be an existing character. So, you know, go to town. We have Tracer Overwatch subscribed for 1 month at tier 1.
Thank you, Tracer Overwatch.
Yay! Mercy Yura subscribed for 5 months at Tier 1.
What was that name?
Mercy Yura.
Isn't that sweet?
Mercy Yura, thank you. Actually, this is my one impression that I realize I can do because I watched the IT Crowd. Is Richard Ayoade, and he's this guy, and he's great. And I even booked a voice for a commercial where I use this voice. It's perfect. That's what I'll do these subscriptions in.
Yes! She's in Wales, and she says, Hola! We have Cyber Soprano subscribed for 6 months at Tier 1.
Thank you, Cyber Soprano.
Cyber Soprano, whatever, you know. Corn Relish subscribed for 4 months. Guys, you are out of control today. Thank you.
Thank you, Corn Relish. You're out of control.
Yeah. Ray, your Moss impression is on point.
Thank you very much. I worked on it for approximately 1 week.
Wait, I want the sexy dude with the deep voice from World of Warcraft to congratulate. It's Kalu cheered 10 bits.
It's Kalu. Thank you for the subscription.
Aww, isn't that sweet?
Michelle Noir Studios, give it to me as Noctis.
Michelle Noir Studios, thank you. You guys are the best.
SD Teen Wolf gifted 1 month Tier 1 sub to Ray Chase Twitch, but you're gonna say thank you as say thank you as Bruno. SD Teen Wolf.
Thank you, SD Teen Wolf. You're amazing.
Yeah. Sukuna is going to thank another gifted 1 month tier sub to Loud Annoying. Oh, SD Teen Wolf, you're out of control. So you can thank him
SD Teen Wolf, thank you so much for the sub.
So awesome. Thank you. Oh my God, that hit me in the heart. Yeah, everyone's excited. More sexy Ray voices. Woohoo, Ray is king. So many good things. Guys, thank you for watching. This was really fun. Ray, thank you for sitting in your car, man, to do this.
Oh, no problem. Thank you, Carolina, for doing this and keeping the questions going. Like, I've done some of these where, like, people don't know how to interview and you're just sitting there and, like, kind of keeping it going, but you always do. You have a great sense of time for this, and I really appreciate that.
Oh, good. Yeah, I hope people don't get bored. And I am a very curious human being, so the more we dig and open, like, I loved your stories of how you met Max and then the connections. Like, I think that you were also a great conversationalist, so this was easy.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys, and tune in. I always do this Tuesday, Thursdays, 12 to 1. Oh, wait, next week, who am I having? Just so they know. I am getting... Oh, I think Melanie is next Tuesday. I haven't confirmed yet. And then Catherine Havari, she does an awesome character in animation. And JP Carliak's coming next. So we're working on all the different people. And Robbie Damon has been busy, but I hope to have him soon. So Ray, you should leave on a rhyme with some etrigan. What's that?
Oh, etrigan. Yeah. Oh man, oh god, Robbie can do all the raps and stuff.
If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Thank you for having me on your stream. This entire hour has passed like a dream. There you go.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, guys. Thank you for keep booming and booping. That's my thing.